Welcome everyone to Lyon, the capital city of the Rhone-Alpes region in southeastern France. Lyon was founded more than 2,000 years ago by the Romans, who saw it as an important crossroad between northern Europe and the Mediterranean, the Atlantic and the Alps. Today, Lyon is a fascinating mix of architecture, cultures, and people. One of the most charming districts in town is the Vieux Lyon area, lying between the west bank of the Saône River and the hill of Fourvière. Before we visit the Cenacle, let's take a quick tour of Vieux Lyon, in English, Old Lyon. Vieux Lyon is the most famous and most visited area of the city. It is home to the largest collection of Renaissance buildings in Europe. Its narrow, winding streets are filled with small Lyonnese restaurants, as well as street performers, cafes, pubs, and workshops of local artists. The hill of Fourvière represents the very heart of the old town. Today, visitors can see Roman ruins jutting out from its slopes. The Roman amphitheater, once used for the entertainment of Roman citizens, is used today for various cultural events, including music concerts, both classical and modern. Without doubt, the esplanade on the hill of Fourvière offers a spectacular view of Lyon. Since the 12th century, a shrine dedicated to Our Lady has been perched on top of the hill of Fourvière. As you can see, the chapel and part of the building have been rebuilt at different times during past centuries. In 1852, the steeple of the Chapel of the Virgin was replaced by a tower surmounted by a golden statue of the Virgin Mary overlooking the city of Lyon. The present-day basilica was built between 1872 and 1884. Finishing touches in the interior, however, were not completed until as late as 1964. The basilica looms impressively over the city of Lyon. Before we leave this sacred place, let's step into the Chapel of the Virgin and whisper our own prayer to Our Lady. This aerial view illustrates the proximity of the Basilica and the Cenacle. Today, other buildings surrounding the Basilica are residences for women and men religious or hostels for pilgrims. It was toward the end of 1842 when the property on which the Cenacle stands today was purchased. From the time of its completion until 2004, it served as a retreat house, welcoming people from throughout southeastern France and beyond for prayer, spiritual direction, retreats, and other spiritual enrichment programs. Today, the Cenacle on the hill of Fourvière is a nursing home for Cenacle sisters, lay women residences, and sisters of other congregations. The sisters who live here at the Therese Couderc nursing home embrace a life of prayer, prayer for the world, the church, and the congregation. They give witness to the gospel by the way they live, with a spirit of love and compassion for one another, with a spirit of hope and of self-surrender. Some sisters, as they are able, continue to serve as spiritual directors, retreat directors, and facilitators. So let's begin our pilgrimage in the Cenacle on the hill of Fourvière. Our first steps in the Cenacle take us to the chapel, as it was, as it is. Facing the sanctuary from the right side of the chapel, we go back in time and imagine the choir, wherein the community prayed, participated in Mass and other liturgical celebrations. And we see the tribune, where in her latter years, Mother Therese spent hours in prayer. This is the choir as it is now. As we gaze on the tribune, we can imagine Mother Therese united with her divine good master in solitude and prayer. This statue of Mary with the child Jesus is directly across the tribune. How much Mother Therese prayed to Our Lady for her community, her family, her country, the world, herself. These relics remind us of times gone by. Affixed to the wall are hooks on which our sisters hung their capes. The bookcase shelters our early sisters' handwritten notes of lectures, conferences, and retreats. The ancient scale, insignia press, and sewing machine may well be precursors of modern technology. Just before we go to the sisters' refectory, or as we would say today, the dining room, we find ourselves staring at an unusual and antiquated sink. No longer in use, this sink, with its faucet in the form of a snake's body and head, is revered as a remnant of the past. Here we are, standing in the community's dining room. The tables and chairs of the past have given way to a more contemporary sitting arrangement. The fact remains, however, that Mother Therese and every other sister who has ever served our Cenacle mission in the Lyon Cenacle has had her meals in this room. The two staircases in the Lyon Cenacle are quite fascinating. The square-like staircase can be found in the sisters section of the house, and the circular staircase can be seen in the former retreat inside of the house. This statue of Our Lady holds a significant place on the staircase in the sister section. Finally, we are in Mother Therese's bedroom. It is an incredibly sacred room in which many Cenacle sisters, pilgrims, and visitors have touched what Mother Therese touched, prayed as she prayed. In this room on September 26, 1885, Mother Therese breathed her last breath, her act of perfect love. Upon entering her bedroom, our eyes wander from the fireplace to her bed, from the wheelchair to her kneeler, from her cane to her desk. This bookcase in Mother Therese's bedroom displays books, pictures, and other items Mother Therese used in her daily life. Let's take a look at each shelf. Notice the photo of Father Term. The framed picture is that of Saint Teresa of Avila, Mother Theresa's patron saint. This document was handwritten by Mother Therese. What do you imagine is in Mother Theresa's sewing basket? Our pilgrimage continues in the garden. But before we leave Mother Theresa's bedroom, let's pause for a moment of prayer. We leave the house for the garden by the door we see in this photo. This bell, securely fastened to the side of the window, once called the sisters for prayer, meals, recreation, and rest. Let's take time to leisurely stroll along the paths in the garden and enjoy its beauty. Believe me when I say, the cherry trees in the garden produce the most delicious fruit I have ever tasted. Well, we certainly can't leave the garden without stopping before the Rabbit Hutch. This hutch dates back to the early years of the Lyon Cenacle. In preparation for the celebration of Mother Therese's 200th birthday in 2005, it was restored and occupied by two furry rabbits. Alas, they are no longer with us. We returned to the house admiring the architecture of the building, as it was long ago and is now. For all that we have experienced on this pilgrimage, glory to God.
Jesus.